What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. In today's video we're taking a look at one of the most slept upon weapons in Season of the Risen. Suppression and weakening is a massive part of this season, and there's a weapon that absolutely no one is using, so if you want to find out more then be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now first things first, credit where credit is due. A massive shout out to Duddits, a fellow member of our clan The Confluence, who has been shouting about this weapon for the last month or so. When you combine it with some of the exotics, fragments and also mods that are available this season, this weapon and some of the loadout combinations make this a very strong loadout, making absolutely short work of any champions. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel as well, and I'll be sure to leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now as we said in the intro, suppression and weakening are massive parts of Season of the Risen. They are fundamental parts of Void 3.0, and these not only apply to the subclasses but also some of the weapons in the game. Sadly, some of those weapons don't see some of the limelight, but today we're going to highlight one of them and why you should be using it for any champions you face. Now first of all, we're going to take a look at the weapon, then we're going to take a look at the loadout and how you can pull off this incredible build. Now the weapon in question is the Two-Tailed Fox. This is an exotic rocket launcher and it comes with the intrinsic trait Twinned Tails, which shoots 2 rockets, 1 void and 1 solar, and these can track onto the same target. And the additional trait that we're interested in is the Play with Your Prey perk. Now this is where the void rocket suppresses enemies and the solar rocket causes damage over time. Now the key word in that particular description is suppresses enemies, and this actually applies to not just the weapon but also the subclass as well. And with that in mind, we can use some of the fragments from Void 3.0 to take advantage of it. Now to make the most of this suppressive effect, we're adding the Suppressive Darkness class item mod that you can get from your season's artifact. Now this costs 7 energy, and whenever you suppress a combatant, you also weaken them, causing them to take additional damage for a short period of time. Now this additional damage is 15%, which means that the second rocket that the Two-Tailed Fox will be firing will be dealing additional damage on top. Now you can pair this with Suppression Mastery, which increases the duration of the suppression effect. However, this will be working against one of the fragments that we're going to be equipping on our subclass to help reload the Two-Tailed Fox automatically, almost making it feel like that you have 2 rockets in the chamber. Now to help us capitalize on this suppression effect and especially applying it to champions, we're going to be running it on the Warlock today, and we're going to be using the Secant Filaments. These are the new exotic boots that are available in the Witch Queen, and it comes with the armor's perk called Devouring Rift. Now by casting an Empowering Rift, this will grant you Devour, and damage dealt by you or your allies from when you're within the rift will disrupt combatants. Now the keywords in this description is disrupt combatants, and the combatants it applies to is overload champions. So by wearing these exotics and putting a rift down absolutely anywhere, any weapon that you have equipped will suddenly be an overload champion weapon. It won't apply to any weapons that you already have champion mods equipped for. So for example, if you have the SMG and auto rifle anti-champion mod for this season equipped, then SMGs and auto rifles won't proc when inside a rift. But for example, if you're using a sniper rifle which doesn't have a champion mod this season, then that will proc overload champions to stun whilst inside the rift. We're going to be taking this to the next level by using the Two-Tailed Fox, which is not only suppressing and weakening that champion, by using our rift here, we're going to be stunning them as well. Now as for the rest of the mods on our armor, on our chest piece, we've simply got Void Damage Resistance, Concussive Dampener, and the Well of Tenacity for extra damage resistance. As for the gauntlets, we'll have Unstoppable Pulse Rifle alongside Pulse Rifle Reloader and Melee Well Maker to create some additional Void Wells. And as for the helmet, we have Dymino and Harmonic Siphon paired with Font of Might as well. Now these mods on the chest, gauntlets and helmet aren't essential to this build. It really comes down to personal preference and the way that you're looking to play and the difficulty of the activity that you're looking to run. Now earlier in the video we spoke about how this will pair with some of the Void 3.0 fragments, and the one we're specifically looking at on the Warlock is called Echo of Domineering. Now this is where after suppressing a target you gain greatly increased mobility for a short time, and your equipped weapon is reloaded from reserves, and this provides +10 to your discipline. So how this applies to the Two-Tailed Fox is by suppressing your target using the Void Rocket, which is the first rocket that leaves the chamber. This will automatically reload the Two-Tailed Fox for you just by having this fragment equipped. It's either a rocket that you can use against another champion, or if the champion that you're trying to take out comes out of its stun, you can fire it instantly again without the need to reload. But what you'll see from a lot of the clips in this video is one rocket is more than enough especially if you pair it with a high impact sniper to finish your targets. Now, as well as Void 3.0, this also works on a solar subclass, and you can even stack the suppression and weakening effect, which is 15%, with Well of Radiance, which provides an additional 25% damage. One of the disadvantages of using a solar subclass is that you won't have access to the Echo of Domineering Fragment. So with that in mind, it won't be automatically reloading your two-tailed fox, but if you do use a Well of Radiance, if you have a massive group of champions, then you will at least be dealing an additional 25% damage on top of the weakening effect from the rocket itself. So that's the nuts and bolts of this two-tailed fox champion build. So with all those details out of the way, let's see how this plays out in the wild. Now, a lot of the footage in this video is from Master Lost Sectors and Nightfalls, but this also works really well in Grandmaster Nightfalls too. Now, one of the biggest advantages of using this loadout is you can take out overload champions from pretty much anywhere. Especially when you get into harder content, you absolutely don't want to be getting up close and personal with any of the champions in any of those activities. The additional tracking on two-tailed fox makes this an absolute breeze. The suppression effect keeps them pinned down. The subclass is automatically reloading your rocket just in case. But we aren't done there, you can also add a Void aspect too. Now, a great aspect to also pair with this on Void 3.0 is the Child of the Old Gods. So when you cast your Rift, you'll get a Void Soul, and when you damage a target with your weapon, your Void Soul will fly to them and drain them, doing damage and also continuously weakening them. And when the target is being drained, you're also granted health when you're standing in your Empowering Rift. And more importantly, with this Void aspect, when you defeat a target who's being drained by your Void Soul, this will grant you class ability energy. This will be granting you your Rift back, meaning that you can have it available more often, maximizing your uptime and ensuring that you have that Rift available from when any overload champions present themselves. Now, whilst in today's video we are running on the Warlock, this is still a very strong build even for hunters. And whilst you don't have those exotic boots available to you, you can use something like Dragon's Shadow, which gives you 2 dodges which can reload that two-tailed fox extremely fast too. You can take advantage of all the other mods that we've mentioned on our armor in this video today and replicate this build for you to go and try out. Now, all in all, two-tailed fox is one of the most slept upon weapons in Season 16, and with a rocket launcher being an absolutely top tier option for overload champions, not just because of the range that it offers, but also because something like the Blast Radius can even proc double stuns on pairs of champions. It allows you to pin down some of the toughest targets in the game, helping you and your fire team breeze through some of the hardest content available. Now, in terms of weapon pairings, this pairs really well with the Succession Sniper Rifle from the Deepstone Crypt Raid or the Thoughtless Sniper Rifle available this season. In terms of energy weapons though, the Insidious Pulse Rifle from the Valve Disciple Raid is an incredibly strong weapon and absolutely perfect for endgame content and unstoppable champions. The possibilities are endless in terms of weapon diversity, so if you have any recommendations, be sure to sound off down in the comments below. But if you haven't tried out this build or checked out Duddit's channel, be sure to do so and check out some of the strongest builds available in Destiny 2. So there we have it guys, a good look at the two-tailed fox, one of the most slept upon weapons in Season 16. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.